My landlord is just walking past the window. He probably thinks I'm crazy. Hi guys, welcome to Book Time. My name's Julia. Today I'm going to be doing my September haul, and I feel like BookTube has been very revealing for me because a couple of times on this channel I've been like, oh, I don't buy that many books, but then when it gets to the end of every month and I think about doing a haul, I'm like, oh, actually I have bought quite a lot of books. So I think I've got 10 or 11 books that I got this month. So I'm just going to go through them. They're not in any particular order. The first one I got was this kid's book called Kookaburras Love to Laugh. I bought this for my husband for Father's Day as a present from my daughter because my husband really loves kookaburras, and this one just had really beautiful illustrations. Like the end papers are really gorgeous, and then, you know, the pictures are just really cool. Basically, it's just about a kookaburra. It's about the most serious cooker in the borough, and it's about how he learns to laugh, and it's a cute little story. So there's that one first. We got a couple of other kids' books on sale at Aldi because they have really good kids' book sales from time to time. And they're both by Linley Dodd. One's Slinky Malinky Open the Door, and the other one is Scarface Claw. They're a bit shiny. These are obviously from the Harry McClary series. If you don't know the Harry McClary series, they follow a bunch of dogs and cats, sometimes other animals. Anyway, my daughter's obsessed with cats, and she is obsessed with this particular Scarface Claw one. So they're pretty fun too. So into the novels and books I bought for myself. So the first four are from a charity store or an op shop, whatever you want to call it. The first one was The Glorious Heresies by Mcinerney. I've been meaning to read this for years. I think it won the Man Booker or the Women's Prize a few years ago. Can't remember. Prize winning, absolutely fantastically reviewed. My cousin read it recently and she adored it, and often we have pretty similar tastes, so I'm looking forward to getting into this one. It says, Maureen didn't mean to kill a man, but what can a poor dear do when she's surprised by an intruder and has only a wholly stoned hand? Lucky that she's just reconnected with her estranged son Jimmy, because as the most feared gangster in Cork, he certainly has the tools to sort out the mess. So Jimmy enlists his boyhood buddy Tony, who, with 6 kids and a love of the bottle, could certainly do with the money, even if his teenage son Ryan is far too keen to grow up so he can become a gangster himself. All is going to plan until Georgie, the girlfriend of the hapless intruder, starts to wonder where he went. So, yeah, I'm excited about this one, and I'll try and get to it next month, I think. The next one I got, so the first two from the secondhand stores were actually from like a charity, from an actual charity store, and I got this old version of Swallows and Amazons as well because actually I've never read it, and I love middle grade fiction, and I love adventure stories, and I love sailing and the Lake District, so this kind of ticks all those boxes, and hopefully I'll finally get round to reading it soon because I've been meaning to read it for a really long time. The next two secondhand books I got are from a really nice little secondhand book store near my house. It's pretty low key, but they have a really good selection. Basically everything is $10, and you kind of got to get in quickly because the good stuff gets sold pretty quickly. So I picked up The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz. I haven't read this one. This one won the Pulitzer Prize actually a few years ago, but I have read This Is How You Lose Her. This Is How You Lose Her, the book I have read of his, is talked about as a short story collection, but I feel like they're interlinked. I thought it was a novel when I first read it, but in any case, I absolutely adored it. I would say it's probably one of my favourite books. The writing style is just so incredible. So I was really excited to see this one for sale at a secondhand bookstore. So I picked it up. The other one I got from that bookstore is super like old school, but I am so in love with it. It's this little book, Australian Eucalypts by Mervyn Millett. I have no idea when it was published. This was first published in 1969, and I am really obsessed with gum trees, which are eucalyptus trees, native Australian trees, and this is basically just goes through a whole bunch of different species, describing what they look like, their flowers. It's got some like cool black and white photos and colour images as well. We were just away for the weekend, and when we were doing bushwalks with some of our friends, I kept stopping to be like, what tree is this? What tree is this? So I was pretty pumped to get home and be able to distinguish them all in this one because some of them are quite similar and hard to tell apart. So anyway, I'm really excited about this because I'm a tree nerd. So yeah, for $10 that was a pretty good find. The next one I bought is The Paper House by spargo-ryan with a beautiful cover. It's sort of ink and or watercolor or something. Anyway, this came out through Picador. She's an Australian writer. It came out in 2016, a couple of years ago. I think it was her debut novel. And the reason I got this is because sadly it was being remaindered. So what that means, I think what that means, is when publishing houses, you know, when a book's not selling like crazy amounts, after a certain number of years, they actually pulp the remaining copies to make more rooms in their warehouse, which is really, really sad, especially for books like this, which is, I haven't read it, but it's been very well reviewed. It's literary fiction, and obviously the author worked very hard at it. It's probably a very beautiful book. But our publishing industry is just so small, basically, so this happens a lot. But anyway, spargo-ryan, the author, tweeted that because the books were being remaindered, she'd ordered a whole bunch from the publishing house and was selling them for $10. So I picked it up from her. I'm really happy. I think she sold out of all the copies she had sold through Twitter, which is really awesome. And I'm really pleased that, you know, a whole bunch of new people are going to be able to read her beautiful book. But at the same time, I feel really sad because I'm like, oh, it's just so sad that it took her book getting remaindered for the rest of us to buy it. So yeah, that's just hard. It's one of the tough things about being a writer here, I suppose. But she's written other books that have been successful, and I think she's got a new one coming out soon too. So, you know, if those sell well, and which they may well do, this will obviously be reprinted. So, you know, that's the way it goes. But I'm really excited to read it. So I'll hopefully be able to get into that one soon. The next one, I'm so pumped about. So I saw this one at a local gift store near my place like a few months ago, and I really, really wanted to buy it, but I resisted. And then I kept looking for it in other bookstores and never found it. Anyway, I went back to this gift store the other day, and they were having a sale off every single item in the store, including books. So I picked it up. It's called A Galaxy of Her Own, Amazing Stories of Women in Space. It's by Libby Jackson. It's published by Century. It came out in 2017. It's so gorgeous, like the cover and the colours and the gold foil. And it sort of fits in with those types of books. There are so many books lately, like the Rebel Story, Nighttime Stories for Girls, and the one for boys. And there's so many types of those books. And I am really obsessed with outer space. It's one of my favourite non-fiction topics to write about, along with the deep sea. And so, yeah, this is basically what it says. It's just a whole lot of little story, like it's non-fiction, and it's got information about all these different women. So this one's like an American aerospace engineer who, she was born in 1921 and she died in 2005. You know, it goes right back to the 1700s to talk about female physicists whose work was used in the calculations needed for space travel down the track, and then goes right up to like test pilots, contemporary test pilots, scientists, geologists, planetary scientists. There are just so many, and they're all illustrated by a different illustrator too, which is really cool. So I hope to get to this soon, and I can't wait till my daughter's old enough to read it as well, because I just think it would be really inspiring. And I'm inspired by it. I'm so pumped to read it. So there's that one too. The other one I got from the same gift store, and it's actually for sale, not on sale, but it's able to be purchased all around the place where I live. It's called the Coburg Plan. Coburg's the area that I live in. I'm very fond of it. And basically this is a book of photos, mostly photos and essays about the suburb. And I think the author, Jessie Scott, I think she's the photographer, and she's got other other writers to do the essays, and some of them are academic, some of them my friends know because they're doing geography PhDs. And I think she crowdsourced this to get it published, and it's so cool. She just like nails this neighborhood and the architecture, and it's got a very strong migrant and light industrial history, this area, and it's just totally, it's really great, really captures it. If you live in the area or have spent time here, I recommend picking it up. You can get it at probably all the independent bookshops in Melbourne's north. And I've read the first essay, so I haven't read all the essays yet, but I'm really excited. And my husband's an architect, so he's really interested to read this one as well. And it's good to have him around because he can help explain terminology that I don't understand. So I'm very, very excited to get to this one. I've already looked at all the photos so many times and recognised so many of the places in it. So this is really cool. Well done, Jessie Scott. The last one I got was actually from a subscription box that I didn't subscribe. I just bought a one-off box for myself as a treat when my daughter turned 1. It was kind of like my present to myself for making it through the first year. This box, it's called Booksquisite Box, and it's from Japan. So you get a contemporary, oh, actually I don't know if it's necessarily contemporary, but the one I got is, you get a novel translated into English from the Japanese, and then you get a few other Japanese kind of items. I'll just show you what's in it. It's really fun. The reason I got this one is because I want to read, in general, I want to read a lot more fiction in translation. And I also am really interested in Japanese literature, which I haven't read that much of. So I thought this would be a cool way to do it. Just opening the box. The book that it came with is called Soul Cage by Tetsu Honda, and it's translated by Giles Murray into the English. And from what I understand, this is a crime novel. A severed hand is found in a van in the outskirts of Tokyo at the same time as contractor Kenichi Takaoka goes missing, leaving his garage covered in blood. Lieutenant Reika Himakawa is on the case, and when the hand is identified, she's investigating a murder. So essentially it's about, it's a crime novel, but it's got a female detective, which I think is really cool. So yeah, and I love crime. I'm always interested in new crime authors, so yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into this one. The other stuff that the box came with, it came with some cool things. It came with like some green tea that I haven't tried yet. I'll probably get into that today. It came with this cute little case, which I think it's designed for pens and pencils, but I might use it as a glasses case. And it came with this super cute, let me just unwrap it, lucky cat, which will be placed on my desk behind me. And it came with a notebook, like an animal themed notebook, and then it has koalas all over it, which I think is super funny. This box is from Japan and sent internationally, but I love that they chose koalas to put on their book because koalas obviously an Australian animal. It's super cute and I really like it. So that was the Booksquisite box. I'll link it down below. This is not sponsored or anything. I just bought it and liked it. Yeah, so thanks for watching. That was my August haul. And hopefully I'll get to read some of these books soon. Let me know if you've read any of them and what you think. Thanks guys, bye.